Rangoli definitely consults me if she has to write something. 2 pennies, thoughts, whatever you call it. You get the censored version. I'm somebody who wears her individuality with a lot of ease. All other actresses have such a manufactured image. I definitely wouldn't want to just post my selfies from my bathroom.
Hello everyone, welcome to midday.com. Today I'm with the reigning queen of Bollywood, Kangana Ranaut, and she's actually looking like a queen today. You've always spoken your mind, you've spoken what you feel, and you've called out people who are big in the industry, or whether it's people in the media. So where does that confidence come from? What inspires you to keep going every day?
Well, I feel when you do something for yourself, everything that we do essentially is for ourselves, isn't it? Like we wake up in the morning, we go about doing things that we do is only to fulfill our very personal desires. Whether I'm working as an actor today, whether I came here, it is everything I'm doing for myself. But then there are things that sometimes you can extend your interest beyond yourself, and that's the only time you should have public interactions about those things, isn't it? So I feel that in that case, your confidence comes from the fact that there is selflessness to it. Everything that I've stood for is against my personal interest. It doesn't benefit me in any way. But the fact that I'm not doing it for everything else, I do for my own self, but those are some of the things I'm not doing for myself. It gives me confidence. What do I have to lose? In any way, I'm not doing it for myself. It's only going to harm me. So I'm anyway losing something, isn't it? So why not?
So people have always seen this side of you, the workaholic side of you, making films, directing movies, acting in such great films. What are you like, when you're not working? What's a day in your life like?
I love to laze around. I get very lazy. I'm actually quite an extreme. If I work like a workaholic, and when I don't work, I don't work at all. So sometimes I don't even get out of my bed. It's quite extreme. But yeah, just relax or watch movies or do gardening or just chill with your family, have some champagne or some wine, things like that.
And what are the kind of movies that you like watching?
Movies that are highly recommended. I will never get into watching a film or at my own risk, no. Because I am a very naive audience. I feel I'm very, very consumed by an experience of
easily
cinema.
Emotional?
Yeah, totally. I cry and I don't watch horror films and all because otherwise I get very scared. I don't even watch very gruesome films which have a lot of blood and all. I get too affected. I like to see more family dramas, films that have like strong undercurrent of humanity. I say something like a Kramer versus Kramer would be my like a good film to watch. In fact, I don't even mind a film like Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam. Yes, these are the kind of films where a lot of families are involved and a lot of people, and it's not just about two people, so things like that.
And so is that, like, since you said you get consumed by the things that you see and all, so is that one of the reasons why you're not on social media? Like, the only way your fans know about your whereabouts are through your sister's account, or through your team's Instagram page, which everyone keeps diligently following to see when Kangana will make an appearance or do something. So why are you not on social media?
I am not on social media because it's very time consuming, to be engaging with so many people, and social media is not a joke. It's like when a mass of people is gathered, the level of consciousness is too high to be able to in touch with them and to be engaging them. It's too draining. I find it too draining. Sometimes, actors' account, they run into millions, more than 10 millions and 20 millions. It is not easy to be engaging with these people, and if you're just misusing that opportunity, you're just hey, I'm having coffee and oh, it's raining. That's not what you do when you have such a attention of such a huge mass, isn't it? You've got to do something which can make some sort of significant interaction. But I don't think I would want to ruin that opportunity by just talking about my whereabouts. I am here now and I'm there now. Do these millions of people really need to know that? I wonder, what do I have for them in me? I would want to have something more significant for them, and then only I will come and give my 2 pennies, thoughts, whatever you call it, but not for my coffees and for the weather, and hey, I wore this wing liner today or something like that.
Do you and Rangoli chat about the things that she posts on Twitter? Because every time, like you're always trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
And, does she tell you about what happens or?
Well, I definitely have. I get a lot of links from my team about things that are being written and said about me, and Rangoli definitely consults me if she has to write something, especially about my colleagues and about the film industry. Yeah, she does sometimes even want to show me her pictures that she puts, and I'm like, well, I have no comments about that, but when you write about the film industry, then you consult me. Yeah, sometimes I censor her tweets. You get the censored version.
Wow, okay. So that is the censored version that we're getting till now. Okay. So what will happen actually if you come on social media? I mean, we're all like dying to know. And what is the one thing that you would do if at all you would have to come on Twitter, say for example?
Like I said, I don't know what would I do with such a mass of people. I definitely wouldn't want to just post my selfies from my bathroom, because most actors are just praising either, like they're just so, hey, I'm, like really sad that this happened, and RIP this person and all of that.
You're saying it doesn't seem very genuine. You're saying it's like a put on, like an act that.
I don't know what exactly they're doing there. I'm yet to figure out. I think there are some people who engage very beautifully with people. Like I think Mr. Bachchan is somebody who engages very beautifully with them. He has, like a lot of poetry to share and a lot of anecdotes to share about his journey, and also what he writes in Hindi is so delightful. What I will do, I really do not know. I mean, he's so experienced, and he's at this point where he's just so larger than life.
Right.
I don't know.
Like people usually have hordes of applications like Instagram, Twitter, and if that's not there on your phone, what do you do generally?
I wonder, why do I have such an expensive phone? Because I only use it to make calls, and I am actually a bit. Even the car that I have, it's so old, and I've driven only some like very small amount, and everyone's like, what do? You don't go anywhere, you don't use your phone, so always just contemplate a lot.
Right.
I like to read and I like to write and things like that, but no, I don't use a lot of phone.
Are you aware of the urban dictionary that's around? Like
No, not at all. And I don't want to be mojo, FOMO and all that, huh? No thanks.
Okay, if you had to tell the millennials, to go and watch Judgementall Hai Kya, how would you do it in their way?
I actually feel that the conscious has risen significantly. So millennials are not as shallow as internet makes them appear. I think they are very conscious people, and I think they're the ones who are worrying about the environment, about the water crisis, about women empowerment. All of this is actually a consequence of the millennial consciousness, isn't it? I don't think you guys are the dumbed down version of the previous generation. I do not believe that. Why you should watch Mental? I mean, precisely, you don't tell millennials what to do. They know what to do, isn't it?
Kangana, I have to say that the rushes of Judgementall Hai Kya look amazing.
Thank you.
And Bobby is such a unique character. What made you choose this script?
The script is very well written by Kanika, and she's a terrific writer, and obviously the script is the first thing that you like about a film, and then the whole team came together. Pankaj sir, who's the DOP, he's such a great talent. Then Sheetal, the costume designer. Then we built the whole team, and the entire team was such a joy to work with.
So the character was actually written, keeping you in mind. So do you take that as a compliment that the,
In this case, well, backhanded compliment, I would say, because Bobby is a crazy character. She's a bit satku. So obviously, I don't think it's like a compliment, but I wouldn't mind.
Like the makers thought that you'd be the only person who probably do justice to the character. So
I'm somebody who wears her individuality with a lot of ease, whereas everyone else has just made a very all the other actresses have such a proper image, like such a manufactured image, that it's very hard to find somebody who's if I was a director, I would find it very hard to find somebody who's who's got, who wears her individuality with some. I do believe that it's not that all of them are clones of each other. I do believe, and in fact the film has a very interesting concept, that actually none of us is normal. The film essentially talks about it. Everybody is unique in their own way, in a good way or a bad way, whatever, but everyone is unique. It's just that a huge section of humanity have just started to build normal in a way that everybody has to fit into it. Right. So I feel that they go to great lengths to fit into that format of normal, but I do feel that they also have their individual selves. I do feel that it's a loss that they've lost there.
Right. So when the title was changed, you had said that you wanted to erase this stigma attached with the word mental. What do you feel like about when it was changed?
First, the film was called Bobby, and then Ekta called me and she's like, we're changing the name to Mental. The film was called just Mental. It was a bit, like I was taken aback, and I'm like, oh, that's harsh, because the way we have treated Bobby, we're not harsh to her in the film. We have not treated her in a way that she should be ashamed of herself or something like that. But then I felt that, if we keep this word a dark little secret, it will always be that, Like I feel that how West has done a great job with making being bad, like a bad girl or badass is a cool notion, isn't it? Yeah. Like growing up in the 90s, nobody wanted to be a bad girl, like those Hindi vamp women, those were the quintessential bad women. Nobody wanted to be that. But today the whole idea of bad girl is so celebrated. I thought that if we do that with mental, with the word mental, it will be quite an achievement. Let's see, maybe after the film people like it.
Awesome, that's amazing. Thank you so much for talking to us. And it's been a great chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Kangana Ranaut and you're watching midday.com.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.